Devi, Parvatastana Mandale, Vishnu Patni Namastubhyam, Padasprasham Shamaswami. So we are hearing these messages every day, every day, Earth Day. Yeah. But practically, how do we make it as a habit to remind ourselves about the gifts that we have got from Mother Earth and be grateful for all of those gifts? So one of the simplest way of doing it is remember this particular verse every morning when we start our day. Naturally, we become used to remembering Mother Earth. And that is how, with that gratitude, we start the day. And all of the activities that which will follow in the day would be aligned to this particular beautiful emotion that we gather in the morning. So I just wanted to ask if any one of you would like to share, how do you remember Mother Earth every day? What do you do for remembering whatever gifts we have got or express the gratitude for Mother Earth? Anyone would like to share here? This will set the tone of gratitude for the session. And please don't hesitate. Do unmute yourself and speak up whenever you feel like. Yeah, I think we have a few answers in the chat too. Yeah, so Ramji is mentioning that I pray every day when I wake up. Thank you so much. Jayaji is mentioning I touch feet of Mother Earth every morning. Amazing. Thank you so much. And in fact, the prayer that I mentioned is all about that. Yeah. Naneshwarji is saying that we conserve resources. Thank you, Naneshwarji. And in fact, I think what Naneshwarji has shared here is a one step ahead. So not only express gratitude in your prayers and in your words, but also in the action. Yeah, Swapnali is mentioning here using eco-friendly products. Thank you. Yeah. So Dr. Sri Kumarji is mentioning that offering dandavats to her. Absolutely. So Narsiyaji is mentioning we cannot repay what Mother Earth is giving us daily. I completely agree with you, Narsiyaji. And just on this note, yeah, we would like to take the discussion further. So every day is Earth Day for us, and not just the World Earth Day, which we are celebrating today, that is 22nd April 2022. In fact, this particular day was instated in 70s. And before that, there was no such day that we marked as a day for celebration or for the gifts or expressing the gratitude to Mother Earth. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean that we were not having a friendly lifestyle before this. We all have, especially, Indians for that matter. Yeah, we had great culture and great lifestyle, which was quite eco-friendly. But nonetheless, we take this particular opportunity to celebrate this day as special day, and then ensure that throughout the year, we keep up the spirit and we keep up the feeling of gratitude and ensure whatever actions we can do in that particular feeling. Every day, one action at least towards the celebration of World Earth Day. So here are a few interesting facts that I would like to share with you about Mother Earth. There are a lot of things which were, very educating for me and very interesting to know. Yeah. So I would like to share all of these details with the audience, august audience here. So we see that Earth is our only home. Yeah. And in fact, that's also the title that we have shared with you for this particular webinar. So what makes Earth unique amongst 5,000 exoplanets? So why I'm mentioning this particular number? NASA, and along with NASA, ISRO, and all of these space organizations worldwide, they did exhaustive research, and their research have led to a conclusion that presently Earth is the only place which can inhabit it, human beings and other living beings. It's our only home. So, can anyone share the facts that you know towards this particular statement that Earth is our only home amongst all 5,000 exoplanets which are studied till now? Yeah. So you all can also unmute, or you can also start sharing on the chat. So what makes Earth unique? Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sri Kumar. I completely agree that it's only home for human species, and not only for. So, of course, we know that bacteria and other microorganisms, that life may be there, yeah, in other planets, yeah, human species and most of the other species. Yeah, this is the only home. Agreed. Thank you, Sri Lakshmi. You're absolutely right because it has water. Yeah. So not only so you have mentioned here oxygen. Oxygen is present in few other planets, but especially water. And amongst water, the most important aspect, the liquid form of water, yeah, is very important. Thank you, Sri Lakshmi. Absolutely right answer here. Mother Earth gives everything which all living creature needs. I completely agree. So it nourishes all of us. It gives the right food. It gives the right climate. It gives water. Perfect temperature. Vraj Sundari Mataji. Thank you so much. Perfect temperature, perfect air, and liquid water. Absolutely right. Yeah. Pooja ji is mentioning here that temperature and atmosphere make confirmation for organisms to live. I completely agree with you. So there is a unique arrangement that's there with Mother Earth, and that's the reason that we say that it's our only home at this point of time. And not only at this point of time, I strongly believe that it's our only home. So here are a few facts that I would like to share with all of you, and it may add your feeling of gratitude towards Mother Earth, and that's why we take it up. There's a cozy distance that Earth shares with Sun. It's exactly appropriate. If Earth would have been a little farther in, means more closer to Sun, we would all get burnt out. And if it was a little farther out, we will all freeze up. So the distance between Mother Earth and Sun is around 93 million miles, or what you can refer to as 9.3 crore miles. Yeah. So that's most appropriate for Earth to support the life on the surface of Mother Earth. Yeah, so this is the first important fact that I would like to share towards the fact that how Mother Earth is our unique home. We love moon, and we love to talk about moon. Yeah, there are a lot of poets who have said very beautiful things about moon. Yeah, Chand Sa Roshan Chehra. Yeah, and so on and so forth. But imagine if we didn't have moon for Earth and exactly the size that it is. Yeah. So let me tell you. So how many of you know which is larger in size? Earth is larger in size, or a moon? Our moon is larger in size. Anyone? So Jayaji is mentioning Earth, and Mayank is saying moon. Yeah, so Narsiya Reddy ji is mentioning Earth, Sri Lakshmi ji is mentioning Earth. Thank you so much for all of the inputs here. And I think the majority is going with Earth. Yeah. So by democratic rule, Is it Earth? Is the answer Earth? But sorry, at this point of time, we differ a little. So who is Mayank? Yeah, so Mayank gets 100 out of 100. Yeah, the answer is Moon. Moon is larger in size than Earth. And because Moon is larger in size than Earth, typically it is stabilizing Earth in its rotations. Yeah, and that because Moon has typical interaction distance of Moon, Earth, and Sun. This all is supportive of not causing extreme climate changes. Imagine if we didn't have Moon the way it is, interacting closely with Earth, we would have experienced extreme climate changes, and the life on Earth would not have been supported by Earth. So thanks to not only Mother Earth, but let us also thank Moon, yeah, for ensuring that the life is happening right on Earth. So of course, you all also know that the tides that happen in the ocean, yeah, that phenomenon of tide is because of Moon, yeah. So this is another interesting fact that I wanted to share about Mother Earth. And as you all have mentioned earlier, also, absolutely right that Earth supports liquid form of water. So 70% of Earth's surfaces are covered with water. Yeah, they're all it's all ocean. So does that mean that we have ample of water and we can just waste it? Yeah. Does anyone know some inside fact that in spite of this ample amount of water available in ocean, how the atmosphere of Earth and overall action which happens, which ensures that we get water which actually supports life? And that water, does anyone know how much is the proportion of fresh water on Mother Earth? Any guess? Even if it is wrong answer, even if it is wild guess, no problem. Narsiya Reddy ji is mentioning 5%. Sir, you're very close. Gayatri ji is mentioning 2%. Gayatri ji, you are also close. Oh, so Aarti ji mentioned 1 and Swapnali ji mentioned 3. And Vrinda also mentioned 3. Absolutely right. 3%. So the fresh water on Earth is 3%. But let me tell you, the out of this, even Karthik ji and one more person who mentioned 1%, they are right in their answer. Why? Out of this 3%, 2% of the water is captured and it's in the form of glaciers. And just 1% of the water is usable. Varun ji, you're absolutely right. Only 1% of the water is usable water on Mother Earth, or which is potable water and fresh water that we are using for our all needs. Okay. So even if we have this much of water on Mother Earth, we are looking at all the solutions like desalination of water and so on and so forth. But does that mean that we can waste water? Absolutely not. Yeah. We have to ensure that we have gratitude for Mother Earth. When we say we have gratitude for Mother Earth, every aspect of Mother Earth should also be we should be grateful for every aspect of Mother Earth. So that means the climate, the atmosphere that we have, the water that we have, trees that we have, and so on and so forth. So taking it further, Earth is only habitable planet at this point of time. And how many of you agree that it's beautiful? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. I can see here, one kid, very sincerely listening and pointing out finger up like this. Yeah. Thank you so much. I can see so many raised hands, that 100%. Yeah. 100% agree that it's the beautiful planet that we have. Shobna ji, I could see Vrinda ji, Arvind ji. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Harikas ji. Yeah, Mayank. Yeah, so yes, indeed, Earth is very beautiful. This is actual photograph taken by satellite that we have here, yeah, by NASA satellite. And what you could see is the so what is unique about this photograph? Can anyone guess how this photograph is very, very unique? Do you see some color change happening here? Any guess? Yes, yes, there is this color change happening. Yeah. Any guess why it is so? What does the half represent and the other half represent? Yeah, Shobna ji, yes, most beautiful and worshipful. With and without water, Pooja ji. So you have guessed it, but you've Mayank is right again. It's day and night. Yeah. So the day and night phenomenon has been captured at the same point of time. Yeah. So isn't it very interesting? But thank you to each one of you, for this contemplation that you have done today about how Mother Earth is so beautiful and only habitable planet. So we go a little further, and this is a very beautiful prayer again in Sanskrit. Yeah, and I'm sure you all will love it. So this is a prayer that we sing for 7 mothers that we all have. Atma Mata, Guru Patni, Brahmani Rajapatnika, Dhenur Dhatri Tatha Prithvi, Saptaita Matara Smritaha. So we have 7 mothers. Yeah. And this is the translation for this beautiful verse here. So who are the 7 mothers that we, so, it is said the person who has mother, who has someone to call as mother, is the most fortunate and is the most wealthiest person in this world. Yeah. Do you all agree? Yeah. So who are these 7 mothers? We are so fortunate. It's not just our own mother who has given us uh, the birth, but it is the wife of our teacher, yeah, Guru Patni, yeah, the one who has nursed us. It could be our Mosi, it could be our elder sister, it could be anyone, yeah. Then wife of our spiritual leaders, the Saptarishis that we have, yeah. Then the wife of the king, yeah, the queen, that means, and a mother cow, of course, and lastly, but most importantly, Mother Earth. So, as we were mentioning, that we have a very beautiful tradition of gratitude towards Mother Earth. Yeah, and we can remember these 2 verses every day and contemplate and think that first we have the feeling in heart, and heart we express that gratitude. Second, in words, how do we express the gratitude is through these 2 verses. Yeah, but as we all know that gratitude is not just about words, it's way beyond that. Gratitude is about action. Yeah. Now the rest of the discussion that we have today will be focusing mainly upon the actual actions, the 10 things that we can do to actually show by our action how we are grateful to Mother Earth. Okay. Yeah. So before we go further, yeah, uh, can anyone share, one thing that you are doing to express your gratitude to Mother Earth? So whatever you did in maybe last week, or anything that you did in the last 1 month, yes, I'm sure in the chat, few people had already started sharing what you are doing to express the gratitude. But if others would also like to join and share on the chat what you do to express gratitude. Thank you, Gayatri ji. The first one to enter. I don't take plastic bags from any vendors. Thank you so much. So important, and we'll be discussing more details on it. I try not to waste water. Thank you, Vrunda. Yeah, using cloth bags. Thank you. Yeah, then planting more. Thank you. Yeah, planting more trees. Yeah, waste segregation. Absolutely right. This is such a critical step. Let me tell you, you can do lot of changes just by ensuring that you segregate the waste properly and ensure that waste, which is not actually waste, a misplaced resource, goes into the right place and then it is used again. Yeah. So we'll discuss a little more on this as we go further. Yes. Thank you. So a lot of people are segregating waste. Yeah. And avoiding use of plastic. Yeah. Consuming only nature produce. Thank you so much. Yeah. Recycle and reuse. Absolutely right. But how do we practically recycle and reuse? This principle is good, but how practically are we doing it? Yeah, we use waste based products or recycled products. Thank you. Yeah, avoid food wastage. Mayank, you're doing amazing by mentioning that. Avoid food wastage, avoid misuse of water. Very, very important. Yeah, cleaning in the house and outside also. Cleaning. Yeah, thank you, Narsierji. Absolutely right. Yeah, we have to keep both the things clean, inside as well as outside the house. Yeah. So, yes, we will be sharing more details about segregation of waste as we go further. Use less vehicles for commuting. Absolutely right. Yeah, reuse old clothes. Yeah, promote vegetarianism. In fact, each and every point that you all have mentioned, actually, I was going to discuss all of those. Yeah. So it seems as if, I am blessed to have great audience, and I think you all already know a lot of things, but nonetheless, just to sensitize everyone and to get more details on each of these aspects, more technical details on these aspects, I take up the discussion further. Yeah. So, right now I'm putting in front of you some actual facts and figures. Yeah. So, United Nations Foundation, they did carry out a complete research and survey. And they mentioned in the year 2021, what are the top five global challenges are we facing? Yeah? And they ranked from the most challenging to the least challenging, and they drew out top five out of it. So the first one, of course, which came was COVID-19 pandemic. So even though the risk has reduced, the risk is not completely abolished, and we all still need to be careful because the research has shown that zoonotic diseases means the diseases which are transferred because of viruses, bacteria, and all of these, the frequency of these diseases, pandemics, is going to go up. And this is one of the phenomenon somewhere connected with the nature imbalance too. Yeah. So we have to be careful here, and we should not put our guards down. Yeah. As we take the care as we are fighting COVID-19. The second problem is poverty. And unfortunately, due to COVID, there is another 150 million people who have been pushed back in below poverty line. It's very unfortunate to know that. Yeah. But we all have to continue our struggle, and in our vicinity, if we come across the opportunity where we can support someone who is struggling at this point of time with poverty, we should go out of the way to help and support them. Third biggest problem is the climate change that is happening. Yeah. And this climate change phenomenon is really worrisome. Why? We will just complete the fourth problem, that is gender, inequality, and the last one is the pollution. Please, we have to understand that when we talk about climate change, we talk about pollution, we talk about unsustainable waste management, we talk about unsustainable water management, all of these problems are interlinked. One is not separate from the other. What does that mean? If pollution is going up, automatically the temperatures are going to rise. Are we getting the point very clear? If the water pollution happens and after the rainy season, the water runoff happens, yeah, the soil pollution will also increase because the water overflows, goes to the soil. And whatever is the soil pollution actually then again comes back into the water. Yeah, all of the chemical fertilizers, everything. Yeah, so we have to understand and make this basic principle very, very clear, that when you talk about Mother Earth, there are no tight compartments in terms of water, soil, atmosphere, air, and so on and so forth. It's all interconnected as one being. If there is problem somewhere, it will not only create problem at that point of time or that place, it will have impact at the other place too. Means if someone is polluting Delhi in Haryana, it's not just going to impact Haryana and Delhi. It's going to come to Maharashtra. It's going to come to South. It's going to go to US. It's all interconnected. Yeah. So we cannot just close our eyes and sit like a cat, yeah, closing its eyes while drinking milk, thinking that no one else is seeing it. We can't close ourselves to the reality that these challenges are real. Yeah. So there are few more facts that I would like to share with all of you. UN has declared we are facing triple planetary crisis. And what does it include? Climate change, yeah, the degradation of the natural ecosystem, and the pollution. Okay. So now let us understand a few more facts of these challenges and then come to again the actions that we would like to take, so that we are completely sure that this action and the understanding on how this action could be done at an individual level, how it is going to support improve the situation. So the first figures that I've shared here is the CO2 levels. If you see the CO2 levels, they have been consistently rising, and it's very unfortunate. In 2018 itself, we had 55 gigatons of carbon dioxide equivalent. Why we say carbon dioxide equivalent? Because along with carbon dioxide, there are other dangerous gases there. Yeah, it includes methane, it includes SOx and NOx, nitrous oxide and sulfur dioxide. Yeah, so in fact, these gases may be in smaller quantity, but they are more dangerous in their impact than carbon dioxide. But unfortunately, the quantity of carbon dioxide is tremendous. And that's why we have to face both these challenges. Okay. So imagine since 2000, in just 20 years, there has been 40% rise in carbon dioxide equivalent gases emissions. So you can imagine how much trouble we are facing. So this is a very beautiful graph, though it is not something which we would love to see, but how scientists have been able to bring out the reality to us very graphically. So they have looked at the carbon dioxide levels from 518 to now 2018. Yeah. And over these 1500 years, as you can see, the graph of carbon dioxide was almost constant till 1800. And since 1850 onwards, sometime close to the revolution starting. Imagine how the graph has been steeply rising. So we were told that 350 ppm CO2 is dangerous. We have already crossed it. Yeah. And we are beyond 400 now. And let me tell you, scientists are now saying that at least we should not go ahead of 430 parts per million threshold. Otherwise, we'll not be able to keep the climate change target below 1.5 degrees Celsius. So, what are the major causes for CO2 emissions? The topmost cause is the electricity consumption, coal-based electricity consumption. Let me clarify very clearly here. So that is the topmost cause of CO2 emissions. If we reduce electricity usage, I'm sure we'll be able to solve a lot of problems. Or if we are able to shift to renewable energy, yeah. Can anyone share with us what are the renewable energy sources? You can start typing in the chat as we go a little further. Which are the other renewable energy sources that you know? Yeah. So this is the state of the carbon emissions contributions globally, and India is not on a worse side, but I would not say it's not also on the best side. Yeah. Thank you. Solar, wind, yeah, tide, absolutely. Geothermal, yeah, biomass, absolutely right. So all of these are the renewable energy sources, and if we are able to shift at the household level to any of these renewable energies, definitely we are contributing to reduction in CO2. Yeah. Thank you so much for contributing here. The second, issue that we talk about here is cutting of trees and the loss of, the natural ecosystem habitat that we have. And let me tell you, when we say habitat, it's not just that the wild animals are losing their habitat. Please remember, as I mentioned, that in ecosystem, everything is interconnected. Our life is interconnected with all of these other beings. If bees get lost, let me tell you, our death is that the whole human race will be wiped off. In fact, scientists have proven with their all predictive methods that human beings are the most nikamme, beings, part of the ecosystem. All other beings are far, far more useful to the ecosystem. Yeah, and what to talk about, trees. So I would like to share a few more details here about the unfortunate fact about trees cover being lost. We lose a forest which is size of UK country, which is 26 meter hectares or 64 meter acres every year. Yeah, and if we have to raise that kind of forest with these huge trees and all, we will require hundreds of years at least to gain that forest cover again. So can you imagine, we are losing 15 billion trees, or it could be 150 crore trees are lost every year, which is very unfortunate. And you all know that our oxygen is directly connected with the trees phenomenon. So remember, trees are like the decoration of Mother Earth. It is her covering. Yeah, we have no right to take out this beautiful covering of Mother Earth, which makes her beautiful. Yeah. So, what about India's performance in terms of the forest cover? We lie somewhere close to 2.5%. But let me tell you, it's not too bad, but it's not good also. Yeah. But there are countries which have absolutely no forest cover at this point of time. Yeah. So it is very unfortunate. Yeah. And the worst problem is that Amazon forest cover is being lost at a great rate. So why? So how much oxygen does Amazon forest supply? Does anyone know the percentage of oxygen that Amazon forest cover supplies to all of us? Any guess? No problem. So 50% of the oxygen on Mother Earth is contributed by Amazon forest. 50%. And other 50% comes from microplanktons. These are small algae beings in ocean beds, which also are giving most of the crude oil that we extract from the bed of ocean. Yes, yes. Thank you, Swamiji. You're right. The Amazon forest, that's why it's called as lungs of world or Mother Earth. Thank you so much. So we all know, the COVID situation was very bad, and we're very worried about number of people being succumb to COVID-19. But let me tell you, there is another fact which we have been overlooking, which is equally dangerous. Can you imagine? We lose 7 million beings, human beings, to air pollution. So 7 million means 70 lakh people die every year because of air pollution. Yes, Tanvi, you can contribute in the chat. Tanvi, you can contribute in the chat. You have raised the hand. You can either unmute or contribute. Sure, yeah. So the air pollution is one of the major cause, and we have not at this point of time looked at this fact that air pollution is one of the major cause of death. Yeah. And when I say air pollution, there are a lot of other pollution that we have to also look at. One of it is plastic pollution. And in fact, let me tell you, in all of the UN discussions that we participate on behalf of Govardhan Eco Village, one resolution was passed in UNIA 5.2. And 175 states have, together signed a contract, yeah, or MOU, that we all will ban unanimously single-use plastic. You know the reason why? We consume 5 grams worth of plastic every week. Means someone may have had nice food through the day, lunch, or maybe like paratha, or maybe some nice items. But unfortunately, along with all of that, with water, with food, with air we breathe, with everything, we are actually consuming plastic, nanoplastic, small particles of plastic called as micro or nanoplastic. Yes. So what can be done at our end in this case of air pollution? Jayaji is asking. Thank you so much for this particular question, Jayaji. And in fact, all of these answers are just on our way. Okay. So before I give your answer, Jayaji, can I just complete this one point and then come to all of the answers that we have as to what we can do at our level to actually, counteract all of these challenges. So this is an interesting fact that I wanted to share, that we can actually know how much ecological footprint we have had. In a sense, if we consider Mother Earth's resources for a year, if we are looking at how much time that we are consuming all of those resources. So imagine you're giving a budget of 100 rupees. Yeah. And we are told that this is your budget for next 1 week. Yeah. And someone may just, go and spend it in a day. And then there is nothing for the next 6 days. Someone does it in 2 days, someone does it in 3 days, and so on and so forth. So, like that, the ecological footprint concept has been mentioned, that the Earth's resources have been accounted for, and for a year you have a budget. Imagine that countries like China are consuming 5 times their Earth's resources in a year. United States is consuming 2.7 times their given Mother Earth resources. India 1.3. Yeah. Least here is France and UK with 0.3. Yeah. So it's very, very alarming situation. And individual ecological footprint can also be calculated. And this is the link. I'll share that link later in the chat box for all of you to refer to. You can click on that link, and you can answer all of the questions given in the survey. It will tell you how much Mother Earth's resources you're using. Yeah. So Earth Overshoot Day is for 2021 was July 29th. Means whatever we were supposed to use till 31st December 2021, we consumed all of that in July 29th itself. So you can imagine how alarming the situation is. Yeah, so you can calculate your own ecological footprint and Earth Overshoot Day by clicking on the link that's here. Yeah, but at the end of the workshop or the webinar, I'll share this particular link, and you can go to the link and do take the survey, and do share then later on the Twitter and the YouTube and the Facebook page of Govardhan Eco Village as to what the finding has been after you took this particular survey. Now we come to what is the way out? What should we do? Yeah. Now, remember, the sequence that I'm taking is also also significant. Yeah, means whichever action I'm saying do first, or is very important. Remember that it is based upon the research of scientists, and a lot of study on my part, that I'm sharing not only these actions but also the sequence of these actions that we should take up. Okay, the first one is support pollinators. So who are pollinators? It is all of the butterflies, birds around us. Yeah. Now, how can we support them? By planting their favorite trees and shrubs. So I'm sure those who have visited Govardhan Eco Village, you must have marked that there are special shrubs that we have planted, like Cretularia redusa, yeah, or Exura. Yeah, these are the plants that that are loved by butterflies. They're loved by birds. Yeah, and if their population goes up, definitely we will have more trees. Yeah, the forest cover will increase by its natural process also. Yeah, so support pollinators by planting favorite trees and shrubs. Remember names: Cretularia, yeah, Exura, yeah, even other fruit trees or horticulture. Yeah, it could be mango, it could be fig, it could be pomegranate, it could be guava. Yeah, all of these fruits, the birds, they love them. Yeah, so we can plant more of these trees to support the pollinators. This will increase by natural process the forest cover. Okay, So going to the next point, the second most important action that we should do is reduce use of plastic. Yeah, a lot of you were mentioning that you are doing a lot of things to reduce the use of plastic, but these are 9 tips here to reduce the use of plastic. Yeah, use the glass water bottle, glass glasses. Yeah, then the wooden items. Of course, again, wooden. If we are going for wooden, we should not go on to use and throw. Means we have to use it judiciously. Then only it will make any sense shifting to the wooden products. Yeah. Then composting. Yeah. At our place. Yeah, that reduces the use of garbage bags. Yeah. So that's another way that we can reduce plastic. Yeah. Using biodegradable plastic items. Yeah. Nowadays, which are available, it is a bit costly, but if we do it, nothing like it. So the first step that we should be doing is segregate waste. Now, how can we go about it? Someone asked me this particular question. Can you technically tell us, how we go about segregating the waste? Very simple. Yeah, all of the vegetable pills, the excess food, and everything goes in one bin, which could go for composting. Now, how do you go for composting? Very simple method. Yeah, you can just select a wooden box at your place. First, you put the first layer of grass in it. Yeah, that box can have slits. उसमें थोड़ा छेद जैसे होने चाहिए, so that it remains aerated. Just put then a layer of browns on it. So what is browns? All of the like trees का जो भी brown leaves, गला हुआ leaves है, या उसकी डंडी है, सब है, that is called as browns. So that comes as the first layer. Then you put the greens. तो green यानी क्या? जो grass है या जो भी कटिंग से जो बचता है पेड़ों के लिए, पेड़ों के बाद, तो that becomes the greens. Then what you do is whatever food waste is generated at the home level, you can chop it off, add to it a solution, some jaggery, then cow urine, cow dung, little bit of water to keep it moist, not too much of water. Yeah, you have to regularly water it. Yeah, sprinkle with water, not too much of water. Yeah, and then mix it all. Add a little soil. Yeah, from the portion, the land which supports the tree, just close to that tree. It has a lot of microorganisms in it. Just mix it all together. Yeah, and keep it out for a cycle. Yeah, so you can keep adding the layers and keep it out for some time. You can have designated few boxes in the garden like this. So you can start composting like this at your own level. I hope this particular information helped you. But if you want more detail, you can always connect back to us here. So sustainable living. So how do we go to sustainable living? Yeah, use chemical-free papers as far as possible. 100% recyclable aluminum foil is available. Yeah, avoid use of too much of paper. Yeah, use the plastic bags, which are not the plastic bags, the bags which are made of the potato starch. Yeah, use less of plastic items and items that can be reused again and again. Yeah. So these are a few things that we can do towards sustainable living. One more thing, the dishwashers that we use and the detergent that we use, we can shift to the eco-friendly options which are available in the market. So if you search, I'm sure on Amazon, in all other websites, you get them. But just to tell you, vinegar is a great cleaner. Yeah, You can clean your fruits, vegetables, everything with vinegar. Yeah. Uh, Add just little water to it. A little diluted solution of vinegar is a great, excellent cleaner there. Yeah. So there are these eco-friendly dishwasher compositions which you can make at home itself. So we'll be taking all of these in details in follow-up courses that we'll be organizing at on the GV platform. Now the third very important action that I would like to talk about is planting three people trees. If we plant three people trees, we will be repaying environmental debt. How? One will account for all of the oxygen that we are taking. The second one will account for whatever water and food support we require. For that contribution, the second people tree will contribute. And the third people tree will contribute for the wood that we require at the end of our life. Yeah. So three people trees, and we will be able to repay our environmental debt. So that doesn't mean that we should only plant three. We can do more. But I'm saying that how beautiful it is that just three people trees and our environmental debt is is nearly repaid. Of course, some things we can't repay all throughout life, and we remain indebted with gratitude. Planting wildflowers and the indigenous varieties. Yeah, it's not just that just beautiful looking flowers and everything need to be planted. These wildflowers, they support pollinators a lot. So we have to ensure that we also ensure that these wildflowers get their space in the ecosystem. Reuse, recycle. Yeah, in the garden we can do a lot of recycling of the items, prepare nice items out of it for as plotters or planters, which could be used in the garden. Yeah. Uh, so it's again a separate thing altogether, and it can be a separate workshop that we can do with this. But let me tell you, uh, just being conscious and thoughtful of how I can stop just throwing away things, yeah, can be of great great use here. So no chemical fertilizers and no chemical pesticides. Just use cow dung, yeah, the compost that we have prepared at home level, cow urine, yeah, extract of vegetable and fruit peels to grow the garden that you have next to yourself. Conserve and harvest water. We can achieve water infinity if we recycle the water that we use. Yeah, what is meant by water infinity? See, for my use, I require in the house, suppose we say that we require 200 liters of water every day. Imagine we recycle all of that used water. Will we require any other water the second day? We will not. And that is what I mean by water infinity. So imagine if for the potable water we'll continue to use fresh water, and the recycle water for all other purposes in the house, and some little changes in the house that we are living can bring this complete change, and we can achieve water infinity here. Yeah. And we can also do small little changes at the rooftop or in the balcony in the house, and we can harvest the water, the rainwater, and we can use it for some particular purposes. Yeah. So some minute changes at the home level, at least we make an effort, and we talk to plumbers, we talk to people who are supporting us for all of these services. We talk to them, and I'm sure you will get some way out by which you can either harvest water or recycle the water at the household level. Of course, we should start accounting for the water that we are using. We can keep a mark, maybe a standard bucket or something, and we can keep a mark that yes, this much water I've been using through the day in the house. Yeah. So the first step starts with that. We will share more scientific ways of water auditing, waste auditing at the home level in detailed courses that will be floated over a period of time. Yeah, shifting to vegetarianism. In fact, huge amount of water is used to clean meat in slaughterhouses, and that's tremendous as compared to agriculture. Nowadays, this is a political agenda also, that people say that in the agriculture uses too much of water, but I would say the slaughterhouses uses 100 times more water. Yeah, it's waste of a lot of water. So the one thing that we can do, first thing, is shift to vegetarianism. And it is also showing gratitude to Mother Earth, because all of us beings are children of the same Mother Earth. Yeah. So I'm sure shifting to vegetarianism is one concrete step that we can take to save Mother Earth. So this is the last slide from my side. So whatever we do today matters for tomorrow. And I'm so grateful. I don't know who that child is. He heard the whole webinar with such a rapt attention. I'm struggling to find his name here. Yeah, with the specs, gray rim. He gave me so much of inspiration as I was talking throughout the particular webinar. And I think when he was listening to the webinar, and in fact, a lot of others were also having kids around as they were listening to this particular webinar. I think you all will agree that whatever we all do today will matter for our future of our children. Yeah. So plastic, if we don't work upon plastic pollution, what we will be gifting all of these kids for 9 generations. So plastic takes 450 years to decompose the molecule of plastic. So 9 generations, what we will be gifting will be the plastic pollution that we created, the plastic that we littered. Yeah. So our ancestors have given us amazing houses, yeah, amazing culture, amazing tradition. We have to decide what we want to give to our future children. So act now. That's the message. That's the final message. And over to you all. Any questions or any comments? Please. So yes, so there is a request from Krishna ji. Please show the plastic slide. Sure. Is it this slide you're saying, Krishna ji? Great. Okay. Yes. So over to you all now. I think I see some hands raised. Prateek ji, can we just help unmute and let people ask questions? I see some raised hands here. Thank you, Shobna ji. Yeah, I'm so happy that you all have gained something from this one invested hour together.
Yes, Hitarth ji, you can ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for such a knowledgeable and helpful class. My question is, you have mentioned about vegetarianism. Actually, I wanted to start a farm and goshala.
Wow.
And then, I got a lot of help from GB also. But then I visited a lot of goshala, a lot of, the people who are keeping cows, but I could not find single goshala, keeping the male calf and even old cows, they're all going to slaughterhouses, after they stop giving milk. And their farming practices are also for one living being, mostly for humans. Like, even though they are farming, um, they are having a mango orchard, or any fruit farming or anything, it is only for one living being. They don't think about like other living beings.
So true. Thank you so much, Hitarji, for bringing this, next level of truth in the discussion. I completely agree with all the points that you have mentioned here. Um, so, the uh, I have been working a lot on the sustainable Goshala, design part of it. And let me tell you, there is a ministry which is dedicated to cows and agriculture in spiritual organization that we are closely connected with. And at the Govardhan Eco Village also, we have been doing a lot of research in this particular area. So I completely agree that yes, when we are doing farming, we should not just think of ourselves as the enjoyers of the outcome of the agriculture. Yes, we have to have a balanced method. You know what, Hitadaji? There is a 1 acre model plot that we have designed in Govardhan Eco Village, and let me tell you, intercropping is possible. Means, see, if we are having few rows, those rows wise we do plantation, right? So we can dedicate the space between these rows to the crops, or to the fruit trees and all other trees, which support other beings. And let me tell you, a lot of farmers have got this particular realization now, that without bees and without caring for birds and without caring for other beings, even good agriculture is not possible. The good agriculture produce is not possible. So in fact, a lot of these farmers are nowadays combining organic farming along with the bees cultivation, and the birds houses are being built in the ecosystem to ensure that the ecosystem is balanced, and that we are able to uh, you know have gratitude for every being, and ensure that uh, we account for the resources for all of these beings, which we share along with them in terms of resources from Mother Earth. I completely agree with you. And do keep sharing in all of the discussions later on how things go at your level. I would request you to also connect separately through the email and all, and we can take the discussion further technically. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, can we go to the next? I hope, Hitadaji, you have got the answer.
Karthik, you can ask your question.
Yeah. So,
Karthik ji.
So I also see.
Pragati ji.
Mataji,
Yeah, go ahead.
If the moon is smaller than the earth, then why is there no gravity on the moon? Because then how the thing is that the more the things will be attracted like gravity, like on earth.
So Karthik, very logical and very interesting question that you have asked here. And in fact, even now I'll be thinking about it. Yeah. So, the gravitational phenomenon that we have on Mother Earth, and there are a lot of factors to it. Yeah. It is because of the distance that we have from the sun. It is with the kind of makeup that the earth has, the kind of elements that are there in Mother Earth. Yeah. And I don't think that same elements are what you see on moon. Yeah. But the gravitational force, I think, Karthik, here doesn't have anything to do with the size of a particular planet. It's a lot of other factors that go into it. But let me tell you, I don't have the exact scientific answer at this point of time. And I'm so grateful that you asked this interesting question. But let me come back to you. Pratikji, if you can share my email ID in the, sorry, I can also do that. Yeah. So I'm just sharing my email ID here, Karthik, and I request you to please get connected with me on email, and then I would love to explore with you what's the answer, why the gravitational force is not there on moon and we have it on Earth. Okay, thank you. And let me tell you, if the gravitational force was not there at the right quantity, what we have on Earth, we would not have again been able to live that comfortably. Yeah. And thank you so much. That's the additional 1 point. Very intelligent. Keep it up, Karthik. So we have few more questions here. Tanvi, can you unmute and ask? Or Pragati, you can also unmute and ask. So whoever is.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Actually, I have one suggestion also, because of my personal experience, I am sharing it with you. Every new session when it starts, kids want the new compass box and the stationaries and all that. So what this year I did is I asked my younger daughter to use the one which was actually, let's take the example of a compass box. So I didn't give her a compass box, the new one. I used the pouch which was already there at home. So my elder one discouraged me and said that you look to be miser, the younger one, she don't know all these things, but then the elder one said that when she will go to school, her friends will have the new things, and even sometimes teacher will also say, see what kind of stationery okay her mother is sending. So I really felt very bad, because the reason of using the older one was to don't use the plastic or buy the unnecessary unwanted things. But I got discouraged. So my suggestion is, can we approach all the schools and encourage them to give such suggestions to parents that okay, it is fine if you are reusing the things, because in this way we are not only imparting this knowledge of saving earth and do steps or this and that, but we are showing the way how to do it. So this is my suggestion on the basis of personal experience. It can be approached schools like this.
Yeah. Wow, Pragati ji, I'm hats off to you, as a mother, and your thoughtfulness and your conscience, which you have kept so alive. And don't worry, I've seen one thing that, good sanskaras, they don't go waste. Yeah. It will fructify over a period of time in terms of your daughters. But I'm also saying that, yes, we are trying to collaborate with a lot of schools. And in fact, that's the agenda with Pratik ji in the coming year. These bagless days have been given for, like every school will be giving some 10 bagless days for kids in a year. And we are approaching schools, and you all can also bring out that awareness, and you can connect schools with us. We are organizing 10 bagless days of kids with us. Yeah. So this will include, everything that, they will be getting them aware about all of the sustainability initiatives within GV. And there are a lot of things that we do with villages close by, 75 plus villages close by. So we'll be taking them on field visits where they will be actually able to interact with people from village who earn as less as 15,000 rupees per annum. So Pragati ji, when they interact with such families, I'm sure they will start counting their blessings. They will start seeing things with a different perspective altogether. Yeah? We all need to do our bit. So, we would be happy to support you. You can connect, the school authorities based upon the experience, and you would like to take it further with them.
So actually, one more thing I would like to add into this is when I asked my children to do all these things now, so they also say that you stand alone. Okay, and when I ask my children that okay, give this suggestion, let me allow me to give the suggestions to the school authorities. So they also say that nobody is going to listen to you. Like for example, every new sessions you start nowadays, we have a plastic cover wrapping also to the notes and all that. So I really don't like it. So many times I feel that I should contact the school and say that what's the need. They are using the notebook, okay, let it be the way it is. I find these things all nonsense, useless thing, because what we want is education, not the appearance of the book and all that. So that's why I feel that if some groups are giving such suggestions to the school directly, that okay, you in school when they are teaching in science classes that okay, you should take care of the nature, okay, they make projects also, don't use plastic like this and that, and this is one part. And when the same students are asked to cover the books this way, that way, okay, so I feel that this is not going in the right direction. So if we give these thoughts to the school directly as an organization, and if we I think this will help. I mean, as a one person can do this now when rules and regulations are there. So the rules makers, if they are aware, then we can start the change in a very exponential way.
So Pragati ji, I completely agree with what you're saying. The top-down approach has an impact. But I would also say that the bottom-up approach is equally important. So if you would, that is something which is really troubling you. If you can go and have a meeting directly with the vice principal or the principal of the school, and rather than saying that you are creating all of these problems, rather than that, you can tell them that, can I take an effort to analyze with maybe some teachers as part of the school as to where we all can take steps or actions to help save environment and save Mother Earth. Yeah, I'm sure they will not say no. And then that committee, there you can start putting up things. That committee can do a deep research and then put up actionable points. Start with simple ones where the school doesn't have to invest extra. Yeah, some simple things, and I'm sure this way things will fall back in place, and one day your daughters will be proud of what you're doing. Don't worry. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Pragati ji. And we would like to give now time to the next person also. Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah. But please do get connected. I've shared my email ID in the chat box. I'll help you out with this further. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Can we? So how much time do we have, Pratik ji? Can we?
Mataji, if you would like to take a couple of questions more, we are okay to have.
Okay, maybe one or two questions more.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Mataji, I had been the senior professor of geology in Government Engineering College of Jharkhand.
Wow.
And I have the answer regarding the use of the plastics and also regarding the gravity of the moon, because I was the professor of geology, so I can answer.
Please do go ahead.
First, regarding the use of plastic, I would like to say that we have 3R concept. The first R stands for reuse, then recycle, and the reduce, reuse, and recycle. 3R concept. But the best way is you have to find out the alternative use of the plastics. You know, a new concept has emerged nowadays that is known as plastic culture, means use of plastic in agriculture, and that has got lot of scope. Means like the canal system you are seeing, in the canal system what is happening, much of the water is percolating downward, so as a result of that we have the water loss. And at the same time, if the water is allowed to flow through the open channel, then because of the evaporational loss, a lot of water goes wasted. So if we are layering the bottom of the canal with the plastic, then it can prevent the percolation of water, number one. Number two, if it is within the closed system through the plastic, means instead of the open system, if it is closed system through plastic, then evaporation also we can reduce. And the best thing you might have heard about the micro sprinklers. Israel has been using this, because if you use the micro sprinklers to the plant roots, desired plant roots, then in that case we are watering only those plants which are desirable, and we are also providing the manures to the desired plants. So what is happening in the summer season, the undesired material like weeds and these grasses, they never grow. So that is also one very good use of the plastic. So there are so many good uses of plastic. So if it is beyond the recycle stage, then what you do is that, because plastic doesn't degrade after 300, even after 300 years.
Absolutely.
So take a big seat of the plastics and use in this sector, that will be very useful. And now I'm coming to the gravitational issue. The gravity depends much upon the composition of the planet or the satellite. Like the Earth, everybody knows that initially it was the part of the solar system and it detached from the sun. So initially, Earth also had the same composition which the sun had, mainly hydrogen and helium. But that time the Earth was in the gaseous stage. After some time, it became liquefied and then finally solidified. Even after solidification, there were many short-lived radioactive isotopes, and because of their disintegration, enormous heats were generated. So there were several stages of melting, remelting, resolidification, and all those. So it took nearly 1,000 million years from the gaseous state to the present day solid state transformed the Earth. But once it was transformed to the solid state, it acquired the gravity. And why its gravity is there? Because the core, the center of the Earth, it is composed mainly of nickel and iron. And that too, iron is 93% and nickel is 3%. So in brief, we are giving it a name NIFE, N-I-F-E. Ni stands for nickel, Fe for iron. And because of this knife, the core material, the Earth has its present gravity. So same is the thing with the moon. Moon has different material, different composition than that of the Earth. So that is why it has got different density. And at the same time, the farthest farthest planet, that is the Pluto, it has the much denser composition, so it has got the much higher density. In the sun, what is happening? Everybody knows that the 4 atoms of the hydrogen combines to form 1 atom of helium, and 3 atoms of helium combines to form 1 atom of carbon. And
True.
as a result of that, there is some loss of the mass in between. And that mass is converted into energy. So what is
Absolutely.
happening? The center of the sun is becoming more denser and denser because of the formation of the carbon, and the outer layer, again, once again, it is hydrogen and helium. So there is detachment of the hydrogen and helium layer from the central carbon layer. And as a result, what will happen? A black hole type of concept has already emerged. And ultimately, what will happen? Scientifically, we are saying that the universe was created by a big bang. So ultimately, because of this enormous density, sun will also explode, and the entire universe will be, means other stars will also collapse like this with big bang. This was one theory. But spiritually, we never believe this thing. We say
Yeah.
that behind everything, God is there. God is creating everything. He is the creator of everything. Thank
Yeah.
you, ma'am.
Yeah.
I have nearly 40 years of teaching experience with me.
Thank you so much for going ahead and sharing this important input. And I'm sure Karthik has got the answer. I guessed it because it was because of the Earth's crust, but you gave the right input exactly with all of the details. And I'm so grateful to you and the kind of service that you have done towards Mother Earth. Yeah, so I think geology is the most critical service to the Mother Earth. Thank you so much for sharing it here. Yeah. And so, in case we have time, just one more question or comment and then we close. Is that okay?
Hare Krishna, Aditi ji.
Hare Krishna.
What Pragati ji was saying, I would like to add to it. I am facing the same thing with my children. Every year they want new stationery, although the old one is still in pretty good condition and can be used. And I would like, I don't know how to go about this, but I've been thinking of this since a long time.
Yeah.
Not only my children, but it is something about, after marriage in this home as well. Mm, in my parents' place, it is like, if you need 4 clothes, you need 1 footwear to sustain, that is good enough. But somehow it is over here, oh, I like this, buy 1 more. I like this. And the things have never been opened, never been used, but still that habit. And being in Sasural, you can't always go ahead and say, "Nahi, this is not correct" and all, but somehow this pinches me and I want to change this. I'm
Wow.
still, as it was at my parents' place, but my children, they are inculcating this habit. I have 4 pair of shoes, but I like the 5th one. I want that as well, which is something I don't like. And I really don't know how to go about this. Since Pragati brought it up, I was like, it is very good. And if you could help me how to go about this.
So, the answer lies at the intersection of sustainability, but more towards spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
I feel we need new things and new everything because there is void inside. The void inside is because somewhere we are looking for happiness within objects than people. If we try and shift their focus and start giving them purposeful time, in a sense, so, the quality time, if we are able to give children some quality time where we are working with them on some meaningful project, yeah, maybe taking them to the orphanages, or taking them to old age homes, or taking them to agriculture farms, or taking them to uh, you know poor people families, and interacting with all of these people, yeah, and then getting that uh, ingrained in part of their life, and along with this, getting them also connected with the spiritual tradition that we have. So remember that 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 natural attraction for new things is spiritual. It's something which is very natural. You know where it comes from? Krishna is called Navaneet Kumar. Why Navaneet? Because he is new every moment. And the interaction between Lord Krishna and Radharani, all of the gopis, gopas, all of the Brajavasis, is new every moment. It's fresh. It's never the same. So that attraction for new things is something which is natural and also spiritual. What we have to do is we cannot deny it. Yeah, or we should not deny it. It is natural. We should accept it. But we have to dovetail that tendency in the right direction. Okay. So I've given just few things from my side, yeah, what you could do along with children. But if we start looking things in that right perspective, keeping in mind that yes, this is very natural amongst all of the beings, not just your daughters, not just our children. It's in us too. We have to find where they can get that inner satisfaction in relationships, in interaction with their parents, with friends. Yeah, then they will seek less happiness in objects. So, but that's our challenge. How we dovetail those tendencies with our creativity into, purposeful things. Yeah. So, we can find out where their hobby and, service attitude, where is it colliding? Yeah. So your daughter may be good in, suppose, music. So she can go and serve in, the different orphanages or old age homes or these all places by her musical performances. Yeah. Or she can design nice jingles for saving Mother Earth and environment if she is good in music. The same way, if she is good in painting or she is good in craft, you can ask her to design how reusable items could be made by nicely painting over it and reusing. So you'll have to ensure that how you dovetail those tendencies, of newness into something meaningful. Okay, give them projects, give them tasks, and utilize their energy and their creativity, thoughtfulness. Yeah, automatically they will stop thinking of objects. They'll start thinking of the purpose in life. Okay, I hope this helps, Pritiji. I think you're on mute, but I could see that you're saying you liked it. Okay. So do we stop here? I think there are a few more hands up, but then, just it's like 6:05. So do we stop here, Pratikji and the hosts?
Yes, Mataji, we can end now.
We can end now? Thanks.
Yeah.
So much. Yeah. And any more questions? I have already shared my email ID in the chat box. Please go ahead and connect with me on the email ID. I would be happy to help. There are few things here, like someone wanted to know once more the composting process. Don't mind. Please connect on the email ID. I'll give you the whole thing in writing properly. Okay. Someone wanted to ask about how to go about designing the garden. I would love to help on that too. I'll for one more time I'll share here again. It's Aditi @ecovillage.org.in. So sorry, I will share it with everyone. Yeah. So now it has come to everyone. Aditi @ecovillage.org.in. Yeah. And thank you so much. You all made my World Earth Day. Yeah. And let us remember every day is Earth Day. Yeah. And we should not forget to start with this prayer of gratitude. Samudra Vasane Devi, Parvatastana Mandale, Vishnu Patni Namastubhyam, Padasparsham Shamaswami. So with this prayer, I'm sure she will give us the right intelligence and right direction for every action that is needed to express our gratitude towards her. Okay? Yes. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Is it Anand Chaitanya Prabhu was with us?
Yes, here, Mataji.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.